faithfully delivering value, exploring great books worldwide. Hi, this is Sally's Book Talk. Today, we're diving into the book called Irrationality of Rationality. Traditional economics holds that people's economic actions are always rational, aiming to maximize benefits. But in real life, we constantly make irrational choices that cost us. Like when stocks keep falling but you won't sell, or you buy useless stuff on sale. Why do we do that? I read this book and you'll probably find out why. One author, Jung Yu Hon, is a renowned marketing scientist and consumer psychologist who's advised companies globally. His online marketing classes have been taken by over 10 million people. The other author, Sue Don, holds a PhD in communications from Rutgers University and was deputy director of consumer insights at Ogilvy China, specializing in Chinese consumer behavior. They blend deep behavioral economics into everyday life, explaining common irrational acts. Today, we'll break these irrational behaviors into three groups: choice-based, expectation-based, and fear of loss-based irrationality. First up, irrationality from choices. When deciding, we face too many options. So our judgment gets clouded and it's tough to stay objective. Professor Zhang, teaching MBA students at Tsinghua, asked this little question. Say you own a clothing shop with a nice men's jacket for 1,000 yuan, but it's not selling. Any tricks to move this slowpoke? Oh, a student piped up. Keep it priced at 1,000 yuan, but hang a worse jacket next to it for 1,500 yuan. That smart move got a big round of applause from everyone. So why does this work? Even though our jacket's price is the same, putting a crappier, pricier one next to it makes ours look like a steal. When a clearly worse option appears, people are more likely to choose the alternative. That's irrational behavior caused by the contrast effect in choices. There's also the compromise effect, where people prefer the safe middle option over extremes. Say you're at a hair salon and the staff asks, "What price range are you looking for?" 48 yuan for a regular stylist, 78 yuan for a director, 128 yuan for the owner. Facing these choices, many think, whoa, 128 is too pricey, but feel awkward picking the cheapest. With this pricing strategy, most customers end up choosing the 78 yuan service. Airlines use this compromise effect too, introducing premium economy between first class and economy. Premium economy costs less than first class, but offers more space than regular economy, plus priority check-in and baggage handling. With this middle option, many economy passengers upgrade for better comfort and service. Now let's discuss the second category, expectation-driven irrational behavior. Before deciding, people often already have expectations in mind. Seeing prices much lower than expected makes them feel it's a bargain, sparking impulse buys. The first expectation-driven behavior is transactional utility. What is transactional utility? It's an economics concept. It means the difference between expected price and actual price. When this difference is positive, consumers see it as a good deal. Like during Singles' Day sales, seeing cart items discounted below expectations makes you check out immediately. That's transactional utility at work. Most people calculate transactional utility roughly through multiples or percentages, not precise numbers. This rough calculation also leads to irrational decisions. For example, say you find a 100 yuan alarm clock at a mall that seems stylish and functional. Just as you're about to pay, you bump into a good friend. He tells you another mall nearby has the same alarm clock on sale for just 60 yuan. Now, imagine another day at the same mall. You spot a luxury watch you've coveted, priced at 6,600 yuan. Just as you're about to swipe your card, your friend says it's cheaper at another mall, 65.50 yuan. Switching stores saves 40 yuan on the clock, 50 yuan on the watch. Rationally, the watch discount is clearly more worthwhile. But shockingly, Most people choose to switch for the clock, not the watch. See, percentages warp how we judge deals. Here's how most people calculate. 100 yuan clock dropping to 60? That's 40% off. Huge savings. But 6,600 to 6,550, less than 1% pocket change. That's why businesses love sales. Discounts frame savings as percentages, effectively triggering our buying urge. Seeing slightly critical 70% off or half price tempts us regardless of actual need or cost. But when deals feel bad, our desire vanishes. Say you're hiking with friends and run out of water on the descent. You see a trailside vendor selling water, identical to supermarket bottles, for 10 yuan instead of 2. Suddenly it feels like a ripoff. You'd rather tough it out till the bottom. Another expectation-driven behavior is the anchoring effect. Here, anchor means our first impression, like a ship's anchor, holding it steady against currents. Our decisions work similarly. First impressions anchor our expectations. In 1974, psychologists proved this with students estimating multiplication answers in 5 seconds. What is 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 6 times 7 times 8? The median estimate from this group was 512, while the correct answer is 40,320. Then, the psychologists swapped the multiplication order, asking another group, what is 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1? The results showed that the median estimate for this group was 2,250. Clearly, both questions should have the same answer. But when small numbers came first, the students' estimates were way below the correct answer. Whereas when large numbers came first, the estimates weren't accurate either, but they were much better than the first groups. This is the anchoring effect in action. Anchoring effects also exist in the sales promotions we mentioned earlier. The original price is the anchor in our minds. We feel it's a bargain by comparing to that. When bargaining, the anchor's role becomes even more obvious. For example, you spot a hat you like, the seller asks 150 yuan, and that price becomes your bargaining anchor without you realizing. You'd think the hat is worth over 100 yuan, so you might bargain down to 110 and buy it. Experienced buyers use a strategy of halving the asking price. Faced with a price of 150 yuan, they'd immediately counter with 75 yuan. This way, the baseline for bargaining becomes 75 yuan. In the end, they might settle at 80 yuan. This strategy uses the anchoring effect to overturn the seller's baseline and set a new anchor favorable to the buyer. However, anchoring isn't limited to pricing. It applies to expectations about shopping experiences, product quality, and after-sales service. It all can be anchored, and this can even shape people's spending habits. If you're used to free shipping and online shopping, finding a store that doesn't offer it makes you unhappy, and you'll want to switch stores. This is because past free shipping experiences have anchored your expectations, becoming a habitual norm. Once this habit is broken, it feels unacceptable. Finally, we discuss the third category, irrational behavior driven by fear of loss. Psychologists found that the pain of losing far outweighs the joy of gaining. This is called loss aversion. Let me give you an example. An old man loved peace, but kids played noisily outside his window every day, so he decided to drive them away. He knew reasoning wouldn't work with these children, so he told them, "Thank you for playing here, I'll reward you." At first, he gave each kid 10 yuan, then reduced it to 5 after a few days, then to 1 yuan after a week, until finally giving nothing. The children never came back to play there. Why did they leave the lawn? The loss aversion at work. The decreasing rewards felt like losses, and the pain of losing that last yuan outweighed the joy of playing. What? So the kids stopped coming. Many industries succeed by exploiting this loss aversion psychology. Insurance companies constantly show how unstable and dangerous the world is. Pharmaceutical and supplement industries profit from people's fear of losing health through heavy advertising. This sensitivity to loss and urgent need to avoid it makes loss prevention products sell like hotcakes. But gains and losses aren't fixed. Sometimes just changing how you present things turns loss into gain. Say a patient needs surgery. If told success rate is 70%, they'll likely agree. But if told failure rate is 30%, would they still consent? See? Same facts, different wording, completely different reactions. Though people avoid losses, they'll take risks when potential gains significantly outweigh losses. In other words, if someone resists temptation, the offer just isn't big enough. How big must gains be to override loss sensitivity? Studies show people start risking when gains are at least twice the potential loss. So, if you ask someone about a 50% chance to lose 100 yuan versus a 50% chance to gain 100 yuan, would you take that bet? Most likely not. Change it to 50% chance of losing 100 yuan versus 50% chance of getting 200 yuan, and he might hesitate. But when potential winnings hit 300, 400 yuan, or higher, risk-taking emerges. Knowing this, casinos' appeal makes sense. When gains could be 10 or 100 times the loss, or even thousands of times, then even the calmest person might take the gamble. In real life, as lottery jackpots grow, ticket sales surge. That massive jackpot, it's the best ad there is. Beyond loss aversion, another irrational behavior from fear of loss is the sunk cost effect. Sunk costs are past investments you can't recover, like rocks sunk underwater. Most keep investing just because they hate wasting previous efforts, even if it means losing even more. In 1982, an Ohio University psychology professor designed a brilliant experiment to test sunk cost impact on people. They randomly sold 3 ticket types to the first 60 season pass buyers at Campus Theater: 15 full price, 13 discounted, and 8 discounted. Buyers didn't know about the price differences. After one season, staff found full price ticket holders attended more shows than discount buyers. Average attendances 4.11 for full price, 3.32 for $13 tickets, 3.29 for $8 tickets. Higher sunk costs made full price buyers attend more. Classic sunk cost effect. This shows most clearly in stock investors. Many refuse to cut losses when stocks fall, instead buying more to average down, hoping prices will rebound, only to get trapped deeper. Rational thinking says, regardless of past investment, if you expect the stock to drop further, sell immediately. Businesses exploit sunk cost to lock in customers too. Take membership-based supermarkets. Paying annual fees gets you exclusive discounts. Customers who've paid hope to earn back that money through shopping, so they buy more frequently and spend more. This way, supermarkets profit from membership fees plus increased sales. As consumers, we're not helpless. We can leverage sunk costs positively too. Say you want to lose weight but lack motivation. Commit by buying a 5,000 yuan gym membership, creating intentional sunk costs. Next time you feel lazy, remembering that investment will push you to sweat it out at the gym. Sunk costs have another trait. They fade over time. The first month after paying your annual fee, you'll probably hit the gym hard. But after months, attendance drops. Near year end, you might stop going altogether. If your willpower's weak, get monthly passes. Sunk costs work strongest short term. For those stuck on past relationships, though, this fading effect is actually a blessing. It proves that old saying, time heals all wounds. All right, you've now uncovered the mysteries behind irrational decisions, how choices, expectations, and fear of loss shape our actions. We can't make every decision rationally. Our desires, loves, hates, and impulses steer us. Understanding this helps you gain wiser, more complete intelligence, embracing both rationality and irrationality. That's our exploration of the irrationality of rationality. Find show notes below the audio. See you tomorrow.